Well, what better book to review on 4th of July than 100 Bullets about people murdering each other and psychopaths with secret organizations? Come on, what's better than that? It's America, baby. But for real, happy 4th of July, everyone. We are reviewing 100 Bullets Omnibus Volume 1. There are 2 volumes to this humongous series, if you didn't know. It's 100 issues, 100 bullets. You know, they like to coincide with each other. And so this one is over 1,300 pages. This is a massive friggin' book. This took me a while to get through, and it's a modern comic, which is really surprising. That would take me more than, I don't know, 4 or 5 days to read. I'm a pretty quick reader. This one took me about a week and a half, and, you know, that is a little bit about the quality, which we'll get into, but it is also a humongous book, and this is why I think it's $150, so it's a pretty expensive one. But what this collects is 100 Bullets, issues 1 to 58, and Winter's Edge number 3, which was just kind of a Vertigo series that collected like kind of short stories from different Vertigo titles at the time. And this is by Brian Azzarello and Risso. I think it's Risso. R-I-S-S-O. I'm really bad with names, but these are the 2 that worked on this entire series, which is actually one of my favorite things, is to see an artist and a writer kind of stay together this long on these many issues, and I believe they go all the way to issue 100, which is just fantastic. So, is this one worth picking up? Well, let's get a little bit deep into it. I'm just going to say 100 Bullets is a strange comic for me to review because there's parts I love, there's parts I enjoy, and then there's some stuff that I just don't know, I feel disconnected to, and that's mostly the characters. So let me give you the general idea. At the start of this guy named Graves gives people a suitcase with a gun and 100 bullets. Usually the person he targets has done something horrible to that person who he gives the gun to, and tells them that in this briefcase you can choose to do whatever you like with this weapon because it's a really cool idea. You can kill them and you can get away with it because these bullets are untraceable, and anybody with the authorities that would come after them is pretty much saying no, they didn't do anything. So pretty much it's a free kill if you want to kill the person that's noted in the briefcase. And that's really what the first few stories are. They're kind of just one-shots or 3 parts of people dealing with that idea of having a suitcase and murdering someone who has done them wrong. I really enjoy that idea. And while the first story needed a little bit of work, we really got into the groove of things. But soon into that, we kind of shift our focus to the Trust, which is basically an organization behind everything. Think something kind of like, I don't know, the Illuminati. And then you have these hitmen, basically called Minutemen, who take care of business for them. And some time ago, the Trust decided, let's get rid of the Minutemen, and went after them, trying to murder most of them. In doing so, that made Shepard, another key player in this Minutemen organization, to kind of create a new group of people. And eventually, most of the people in these stories, whether they're one-shots or a couple of parts, start to intertwine with each other. And that's the general idea. No matter how crazy fucked up life is, these murderers and dog shit people will eventually come face to face in some way. And the big question is, who's going to come out alive? And the dialogue is done well enough, making, you know, the tough guy mafia and then also the gangsters on the street. And we have plenty of different styles and a very diverse cast, which is a breath of fresh air. Sure, some of it is definitely stereotypical. There's no doubt about that. There's huge stereotypes in here, especially at the start of this whole series. I was a little iffy on that, but it does get better as it goes on. And I think the big thing here is the art. It's really unique and it works well for this dark and fucked up universe. Not for everyone, that's for sure, but it most certainly worked for me in this context. The way that these happy-go-lucky characters' faces shift into this dark and sinister tone is actually really well done, and I enjoyed that part a ton. And I just think the artwork is just different, though I will say it does feel a little staticky at points with the action, but for the most part, it's pretty unique and cool. And the characters are multi-layered. I want to make that statement because what really sucked for me, or what didn't really live up to it for me, was that it was really hard for me to care about anyone. I didn't. Sure, there's definitely some shocking events that made me go, oh shit, a few times, but to actually be attached to someone in this story, I mean, maybe Diz, but out of everyone in this story, I would say that's the only one that I actually cared about a little bit. But the thing is, if someone died in the series, I wouldn't cry over it, and that kind of sucks with this being as big of a story as it is. And just the lack of the human connection is just weird for me, because usually I attach to a few characters in almost everything I read, and for here, that's kind of the major fault. None of these characters are really that likable, save Diz, and even she's kind of fucked up at times. So this book definitely feels like two different style books. At the beginning, it's more of a mystery, a little bit of gangster drama, and then we get more into like hidden agendas and humongous organizations that run shit. So I'm still intrigued of the story. I want to know where it goes, and I did like the ending to this omnibus, but I have to say that I definitely like the smaller stories, the ones that have that premise of here's 100 bullets, do something about it. That to me just makes each story more interesting. The whole organization with the Trust and the Minutemen is cool, but it's stuff I've seen in other stories. So where would I rate this? It's kind of between a 3 and a 3.5. I'm not going to get into like super detailed of like 3.25, but that's pretty much what it feels like. It's kind of just like good. It could be great at times, but it's not quite there. But I don't know if I'd say it's a 3.5 because I feel like I reserve that for stories that are, you know, pretty damn good, just right on the cusp of great. And this feels more like it's good, but it doesn't even reach the middle way to great, if that makes any sense. Anyway, I think I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5. I think it's a really solid, fun mystery gangster drama, but at the same time, my biggest fault is I could not get connected to almost anyone in this whole story in terms of caring beyond just the plot points, and that kind of sucked. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, let me know what you thought of 100 Bullets. It did win a lot of Eisner rewards. People obviously like this series, and it is one of Vertigo's biggest titles as it hit 100 plus issues because it had some side spin-offs and stuff. But I would love to hear what you guys think. I am going to give it a 3 out of 5. I think it's solid. I am going to read Volume 2 and hoping to enjoy it more, but we will see. Everybody have a wonderful 4th of July. Go eat some hamburgers. I'm about to go pick mine up. I'm hungry. And everyone else, have a good day and go read some good damn comics.